Today is January 12th, and I am in the presence of Palafox, also known as Palafaker from NRG. Hello, hello to you.
Hello, hello.
So, you are probably like the pride of NA almost by now. You've been developing yourself over the past years, and I mean, last year was probably the most successful for you, right? How did it feel being on NRG and winning your first LCS championship last year?
Um, I mean, being on Energy has been a really good time. Obviously, I think not many teams since franchising can kind of have the story of like you built up a squad, they got it better and better, you made like small adjustments, and then like you end up winning, right? I think like that story is not as common anymore, and most of the time, team or people just build like super teams, right? So just being on a team where like everybody was written off, and then like obviously we ended up winning, and then we ended up going like beating G2 at Worlds, made NA better than EU for the first time in
True.
like 4 years.
Hey, I'm half Canadian, so I'm fine with that. Honestly, it's okay. I have double nationality. NA is greater than you. Fuck it.
Yeah, so that's all been great, and then being a honestly winning finals was pretty nice. I would say at the moment I was like couldn't believe it happened, but I would say like beating G2 felt a lot better.
Going into this year, I think it's been a bit mixed bag because, in a sense, some people expect NRG to perform again, and I mean, there's probably some stress around that. But also, on the other end, a lot of people are maybe once again underrating the team a bit. I've seen a lot of people mention mainly Cloud9 and stuff. How do you feel towards your own expectations for this year?
So, just knowing everybody from my team, I think I took a pretty long off season. Like obviously I was sick for a long time. I don't really touch the game when I take breaks. So, I just know at least for me, I need to like still ramp up a little bit. And I've always been that type of player where like in spring I'll usually play a little bit worse, and in summer I'll play a little bit better. And I think um regardless of what anybody else thinks, like if we're gonna do good or bad versus C9, I don't really look at that too much. I kind of just hope that like for my teammates who do put in a lot of effort, that I can like put in as much effort to like catch back up, right? I think I'm not the only one on my team that needs to. It's kind of like everybody really. Uh, but that we like temper our expectations a bit and make sure that we understand that like our path needs to be like an upwards trajectory and not like we're starting off bad, so we tilt and like can't find the reason why we're playing bad. It's like
Yeah, I mean, last year you started in like fifth place tied, right, in spring playoffs.
yes.
You lost against EG, if I remember, and then you just won the championship in summer. So, I mean, do you expect this year to go similarly in that case?
I think in spring I kind of because of how far we went in Worlds and like the experience I got there, I kind of just expect a little bit more out of myself and out of my teammates. I know like it's like when you see how high you can go, you should push yourself to go even higher. There's no reason why you should like kind of be like, okay, that's my limit, and just stay there and just play below your limit, right? Um, you're just trying to get to that point sooner and then like peak later, right? With all the changes to like the meta, the map and stuff, I guess we're gonna see how that goes. Because I think for our scrims, and I was seeing like some other teams in our scrims have the same issue, but like a lot of people don't really know what to do. Like because the map changed, there's a whole different layout for how like level ones are gonna go, for how objective contests are gonna go, right? Um, and I think that it's gonna be very rewarding to play a lot. Uh, and yeah, I guess just gonna see how good everybody ends up being.
Have you been playing a lot of Champions Queue and stuff?
I've been trying to. It's been a bit hard, like in the most recent weeks, because like I said, like I got sick, and then I um, we just had so much media that I
Yeah.
haven't really had the time. Like it's really like it's a little bit annoying in the sense, but like not this right now. Like this is like our media day, but we've just had like a lot of small things that like my days have been lasting very long, and I haven't had the time to actually be playing that much.
Do you have any thoughts, by the way, on all the changes that were made to the LCS, notably playing on live patch, because that's something that you will have to work around, especially.
Yeah, I think that people who slack will get punished a lot more. So before you would play like 2 patches on or 2 weeks on the same patch. Um, Now you're just going to be, I guess, it's gonna be the same with live, right? But you actually have to be like updated with solo queue, solo queue cheese strats, and you have to be like really, really in tune with like what actually is going to be strong, right? Because when you're 2 patches behind, you kind of just look at what other people play that patch, and then you're like, this is strong, I'm gonna learn it, right? And you kind of have that like buffer, but now you don't. So we're gonna see.
In recent times, I mean, you've received a lot of fan support, and you were even like nicknamed Palafaker by NA fans and stuff. How does it feel getting all this fame, I guess, from your position? Do you have you ever felt a bit of a double-edged sword as well, with more criticism because you are, I guess, a bit of a public figure in a sense?
I've never really dealt with criticism in a negative way.
Hmm.
Like realistically, a lot of the people in or outside of esports kind of just say what's on their mind. They don't know like the inner workings, right? And I would say that even goes for a lot of like there's sometimes like casters even have the same sentiment, right? But like let's say at Worlds, right? Xiaohu is playing a champion like Nico, and he wasn't playing that well, but he was doing his job in the sense that he was dying for his team, and he CC'd my teammates, right? And he let somebody else shine, right? Faker also does the same thing a lot, and you can see it with like T1's run where like probably necessarily wasn't like feeding, but he wasn't doing anything. And sometimes not doing anything is more harmful, you know? Uh so a lot of people just take like a lot of people are like too afraid to like int or like care too much about what people say or what people are gonna think about them. Um, I kind of just take it with like a grain of salt, you know. Like I'll try to see if there's anything there. I'll look at my own play and like criticize myself, but otherwise, it's like I'm not gonna take too much of it. Like it doesn't really matter, you know.
You mentioned Worlds as well, by the way. I would like to ask you because obviously last year was the first time for you at Worlds, and also your most successful year so far. Did you have any takeaways from Worlds, going there for the first time and even reaching the quarterfinals right away?
Yeah.
What is the main thing you kept from
My
it,
my main
basically?
takeaway is that in the past, as like a young player, I used to I used to play like without regard to my like own physical health a lot more. And pretty much what that means is like I have some arm issue right now. Um, and I kind of used to play like without regard to it, so I would play through pain a lot. And I noticed like uh 2021, when I was on FlyQuest, I kind of started slacking a bit, and I stopped caring about like I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna play in a way that like I don't have like pain anymore, but I can't actually play the best I can, right? So at Worlds, even though I was like it was like kind of painful to play, I still like I kind of just like disregarded it, and I was like, I will fix it afterwards. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna play in a way where I feel like I'm playing the best and not like slack anymore. You know?
All right. Well, I think that was about all the questions I had for today. So, do you have anything to say to the fans before we close out?
Yeah, just thank you for supporting us. Please be patient with us in the beginning. But I mean, if we're winning in the beginning, I truly believe we'll probably win the split. So yeah, be excited.
Well, thank you very much for spending time to talk with me today, Palafox. I hope you have a great split and even a great year as well. And for viewers, you can always check out the channels for more esports coverage.